Congratulations! Your proposal has been recommended to move to the next stage of the process, which involves due diligence and grant agreement negotiations. Funding will be contingent upon the successful completion of this process. Those long days that you spent in front of the computer, researching the donor, crafting a budget, and making your awesome ideas fit into 500-character boxes paid off. Or did they? The donor sends you a due diligence questionnaire, or a risk assessment, or a grantee organizational review, or an organizational capacity assessment, or some other form. You're asked to respond to a long list of multiple choice questions that most commonly revolve around your venture's financial systems, governance, and human resources. Your excitement and optimism around this new grant starts to go downhill. Your enthusiasm is going downhill because these all too common capacity assessment tools, which are weighed heavily by many donors in their grantee selection process, are not tailored to organizations of different sizes and of different operating budgets. They have unrealistic expectations, and they decrease the chances for smaller, youth-led ventures of securing grants. In 2013, the year that I founded the nonprofit organization Projet Jeunes Leaders in Madagascar, I was 21 years old. I had a 9-person team and a $25,000 yearly operating budget. I remember being asked to fill out organizational capacity assessment questionnaires and shaking my head as I read many of the questions. Here's one example. In this organizational capacity assessment questionnaire, an organization would be considered basic on this indicator if it had very little or no division of responsibilities among staff members. At Projet Jeunes Leaders' early stages, we had very little division of responsibilities among staff members. Everyone took on multiple roles, and we didn't have the funds to hire specialists in specific areas. Yet on the other hand, everyone on my team was passionate about comprehensive sexuality education, our area of work, and we certainly considered that Projet Jeunes Leaders was a great place to work. So were we basic or were we thriving? Here are another 3 examples. In all these cases, the scoring system will hurt smaller organizations with lower budgets. For instance, on the second block of indicators, an organization that relies on volunteers will score lower than an organization with over 10 employees. On the third block of indicators, a relatively new organization might still be developing its financial management systems, but the systems that it does have are robust and they meet accepted accounting principles. In all of these cases, the scoring system is inherently biased towards larger and more well-established organizations. Yet around the world, donor agencies and multinational organizations are trying to be more intentional about supporting and collaborating with youth-led organizations. They claim they are looking to build the capacity and strengthen youth-led organizations. The intention is good. But to truly identify and support promising youth-led ventures, it is time to rethink these traditional organizational capacity assessment tools and design new benchmarks of organizational success that more accurately showcase the stage that youth-led ventures are at and where it is realistic for them to go. I was a 2017 Youth Action Net Fellow. In 2019, I took a leave of absence from my organization to do my master's in public health. I was in Baltimore, and I reached out to the International Youth Foundation to see about doing my internship there. It turns out that the International Youth Foundation was eager to collaborate to create an improved organizational capacity assessment that would be more adapted to the needs and to the realities of youth-led organizations around the world. After conducting an in-depth review of existing capacity assessment tools, I began crafting the new tool. We felt strongly that the tool should be adapted, relevant, and useful to organizations regardless of their size and their budget. Organizations are asked at the start of the questionnaire to specify their staff size as well as their yearly operating budget. They are then presented with a list of financial management and human resource indicators that are tailored to their size. So here are the indicators that an organization with an operating budget under $25,000 per year would be asked versus an organization with an operating budget over $75,000 per year. So in both cases, they would be scored out of 7 based on how many of these systems they have in place. The same principle applies to indicators around human resource management. Here are the tailored benchmarks that would be asked of an organization that has only volunteers versus an organization that is relatively small but does have 5 paid employees. The objective is that under all the dimensions, organizations, regardless of their size, all have the possibility of achieving a high score in each of the dimensions. I piloted the tool with 14 founders of Youth-Led Ventures, and their response was overwhelmingly positive. The final 12-question tool covers 5 key dimensions of organizational capacity: financial management, human resources, governance, monitoring, evaluation, learning, and community engagement. After completing the survey, each youth-led venture receives an individual report with their score and their highlighted strengths and weaknesses. They are then directed to an online library of 98 organizational capacity development resources, which are organized around each of these 5 dimensions. After all, an organizational capacity assessment shouldn't just be for others. It should also be a tool for us. It should be a tool that helps us reflect and strengthen our organization in ways that will be beneficial and impactful to us.